Adam, and welcome to our story and our talk for today's session. And I've brought a fire with me so we can really get in the campfire spirit. And today we're going to be learning about a story to do with Moses, and this is something that happened to Moses in his life. And then I'm going to take you outside to our little campfire area at church to understand what our story means. But our story today is the burning bush. Now get comfortable, get yourself all nice and cozy and sat down, and let's have our story. Because Moses, he was brought up in Egypt. You'll know the story, his mum put him in a basket and the Pharaoh's daughter picked him up, and he was raised as an Egyptian. But he had to leave Egypt. He left and went into the wilderness. And while he was out there, it was really, really hot. Because in Egypt, it's really, really warm. Really, really, really warm. And he could see in the distance that there was a bush. Now, bushes set on fire. This bush was just on fire, and it was on fire. Just like the logs in the fire here. But this bush wasn't burning up. The bush was just burning. And Moses was confused and wondered, why is this bush not burning? So he takes a look at the bush and keeps looking and keeps on looking. It was bright and it was red and it was burning. And suddenly Moses heard a noise from the bush. That's really weird, isn't it? Bushes don't speak. But Moses heard a noise. And the noise says, "Take off your shoes. You are on holy ground." And if a bush spoke to you, I'm sure you'd be confused just as Moses was. And Moses said, "Who are you? Why are you speaking to me? I am just a poor shepherd." And the bush replied. The bush said back to Moses, "I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Jacob, the God of Israel." And Moses will have known what this had meant. And he says, "You are more than a shepherd. You aren't just a poor shepherd, because you are Moses, the man who I have chosen to lead my people out of Egypt." And Moses just didn't know what to say. Moses didn't know even what was going on. Moses has just been talked to by God from a bush, and Moses just didn't think he could do it. He just says, "I can't do that. I left Egypt and I'm old. I can't do these things you're telling me that I'm going to do." And God said to Moses, "You can do it. You must do it. For my people are slaves in Egypt and have prayed to be set free. And I have heard those prayers, and I have chosen you as the man to set them free." But Moses asked, "But what if they don't believe me? What if I go and they don't believe that you are the one who has sent me?" And God said, "Take your walking stick," because Moses, as a shepherd, had a stick. And he said, "Throw it on the ground. Just throw it. Throw it on the ground." And Moses did as God asked and threw his stick on the ground, and out from the stick came a wriggling snake. And that was one of the signs God gave to Moses to show the people of Egypt that he was from God. And then God asked Moses to pick it up, and this might have been scary because he had to pick up a snake. But as he picked up that snake, it turned into a stick again. And then God just said, "Show them that, and they will believe you." And Moses just replied, "But I'm so shy. I'm no good at talking to people." And God replied to him saying, "Don't worry. Your brother Aaron loves to talk. You can take him with you, and now go. My people need your help." So Moses went, he put on his shoes after leaving that holy ground, picked up his walking stick on a trip to set God's people free. And that is our story of Moses and the burning bush. How cool is that? I got our story today, picked bits out from the Lion Storyteller Bible if you want to read that again, or you can find it in Exodus 3. But it is such a cool story, and I think you should come with me now, and we're going to have a think about how this is all about being around the campfire and being around God, because we've got a campfire area as part of our church. One of our members, he runs this. It's like a forest church. It is great. And let's go there and let's talk about how this bush was so amazing and how this fire brought Moses even closer to God. So our story today is all about Moses and going to the burning bush. But the amazing thing about the burning bush is that it caused Moses to turn. And where Moses was, in Egypt, a burning bush wouldn't have been something that was out of the ordinary. It would have been really normal because it's really dry. And when things like bushes and wood gets really, really dry, it burns really quickly and can set on fire. And here I am, surrounded by a campfire here. And this is normal. The wood is burning, we've been adding wood to it to keep it going, and eventually this whole fire will burn down to some ash. But the really crazy thing about this bush that Moses was so drawn to was that it wasn't burning up. It was staying there, it was burning and burning and burning and burning, but it wasn't going away. It wasn't turning into ash like this fire will. So Moses was drawn to it. And as he was drawn to it, he heard the voice of God. He heard the voice of God calling to him, saying that I am Moses, I am. And God not only called Moses over to look at this bush and to interact with God, but God also called Moses to do something Moses didn't think was possible. And that was for God to use him to rescue his people from Egypt. And that is just so amazing that God can use something as simple as a bush that is on fire, which would be completely normal where Moses was living, to call Moses into something he didn't think that he could do. And my challenge to all of us today is to be on the lookout when we're outside, when we're going around the streets, when we're going on our family walks, when we are visiting our friends and our family, when we're allowed to meet together. Is there anything out there that is drawing you to come near to it? Is there anything that you feel that God is calling you to? Because our theme this week is all about coming around the campfire. And this fire that Moses was drawn to was coming to God. And today, my team at work, we were finally able to come together and meet around this campfire. So that is a really fitting thing for this week, that a campfire is a thing that has drawn us together. A fire is a thing that drew Moses to God. And I wonder what things are going to draw us to God in the future after this week. And I hope you've enjoyed our story today, everyone. Bye.